23 effects being felt on day 35 of the shutdown. Look, the shutdown, the first EBT payments happened. Okay. This new one hasn't happened yet. Okay. But the Democrats were out there just as fast. It was less than 24 hours. And they're like, everybody's starving to death. Well, I have never known a fat person on EBT not to have a house full of fucking Twinkies or Little Debbie's or something. Never in my life have I ever known that to be a thing. Most people typically have at least 4 or 5 days of food in their house to start with. And the Democrats were literally behaving like everybody was starving to death, like right now. 23 effects being felt on day 35. It's not day 35 of the shutdown for the people who have EBT. This just hit less than 24 hours ago. The current government shutdown is poised to become the longest in history. It ties the 35-day record set in 2019 under Donald Trump's first term. With no serious negotiations happening, it's a good bet the shutdown will continue for the foreseeable. Many of the effects, like lapses in food aid for lowest-income Americans, are just starting to be felt. It's less than 24 hours. Settle the fuck down. Okay? Settle the fuck down. Here are some of the more notable effects from CNN's reporting as documented by other outlets. More than 1 million federal workers aren't getting paid. Now, this one I have sympathy for. This is the museum workers. This is the janitors in the government buildings, the people that you don't notice. I genuinely feel bad for those people.
Military contractors.
Military contractors. A lot of those guys make good money. They'll be okay for a month.
Well, we'll see how long it takes.
Yeah, like the Northrop Grumman guys and the khaki guys. Yeah, they can weather a month. I know a lot of those guys. None of them make less than 6 digits. There's some question about whether they'll ever get paid. That's just hyperbole. Every time there's been a shutdown like this, they've ended up getting paid. It's not just federal workers who aren't getting paid. Contractors work indirectly for the federal government. Okay, that's government contractors. And here's the woman who worked as a cleaner at the Smithsonian. Okay, I genuinely feel for her. If I had access to her, I would make certain that she was taken care of in some way. That kind of thing those people deserve to be taken care of. Other non-governmental workers are affected as well. The San Diego Union Tribune talked about criminal defense lawyers who represent indigent clients but aren't getting paid for their work at the moment. I have a hard time having a sympathy for a lawyer. Tariffs are partially funding child nutrition programs. What the fuck? Tariffs? No, they don't. Cut it up. That is a separate congressional thing. Head Start programs are starting to lose funds. Really? Please demonstrate that. Programs that provide early education and child development for low-income children started to lose funding on November 1st. Less than 24 hours. This article is 2 days old. Funding is staggered to 1,600 different programs across the country. Look, your 3-year-old doesn't need to go to school. Knock it off. Your 3-year-old needs to be home with you.
Yep.
That's nuts. Head Start. Please. Obamacare premiums are way up. That's a whole different issue. I talked about that at the beginning of the show. Health insurance costs are what they should be right now. Without the government subsidies, because government got involved in healthcare and the health insurance industry went, we'll just charge everybody 6 times what we were charging them. I had health insurance at the hotel that I worked at, and it cost me $11 a month for basic like doctor's visits and stuff like that and emergency care. I don't know how I'm going to feed my kids. Shutdown hits federal contractors hard. This is the one where the janitor at the Smithsonian, she's a cleaning lady, Audrey Murray. She's 65 years old. Why is she not retired? Has worked as a cleaner at the Smithsonian for nearly 3 decades. Now she is among the hundreds of thousands of federal government contractors whose livelihoods are being threatened. It's so sad to think that they can play with people's lives. Okay, this is coached, point blank. This kind of language. She's 65 years old. This kind of woman doesn't go, and the political conspiracy behind it all. She's a cleaning lady at the Smithsonian. I love you, lady, but I want to help you, but stop saying stupid stuff. You were coached to say that, is my opinion. The Smithsonian Institution, which includes all of the Smithsonian museums, which are great. I went there in 1978. I was 8 years old. It was fucking awesome. Plans to go dark after Saturday if the government shutdown continues beyond then, according to its website. If that happens, Murray wonders how she will provide for her 3 children and grandchildren in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Wait a minute. She's 65. I guess her children are grown and she's still taking care of them? I sense a certain demographic. Sorry, was that callous of me? Okay, this is kind of a big one. Will a government shutdown affect veterans' benefits or military retirement pay? So I went and looked at that, and that's a pretty big deal because obviously we've got a lot of people in our community who are in that category. It looks like a law was passed. I can't remember if it was 83 or X, but the veterans and their benefits are protected. So, and one guy already says, I got my money this month. That's good. It looks like they protected veterans and their disability pay and benefits and all of that stuff via this law that showed up around 83 or 86, which makes a lot of sense if you know anything about a little event called the Bonus War, which we should do a whole fucking show on one of these days, to be completely honest. General Smedley Butler was involved in that as well. If you haven't read his book, War is a Racket, you really need to. It was actually a speech that he gave, but there's a book on it called War is a Racket. Will government shutdown affect veterans' benefits or military retirement pay? As we approach the possibility of a federal government shutdown, many veterans, military retirees, and former spouses who receive benefits from VA or DoD are understandably concerned about how this might impact their benefits payments and medical care. As attorneys with experience navigating military law and the federal benefits system, we here at Law Firm, I'm not giving you free advertising, sorry, went to offer some information. First, what is a government shutdown? Occurs when Congress does not pass legislation to fund federal agencies and programs. This has happened many, many times. Happened in 1997 when I was over in Korea. We're all sitting on the DMZ going, but my beer money. This leads to a lapse in appropriations, resulting in the temporary closure or limited operation of various federal services. However, it's important to note that not all government functions stop during a shutdown. Some are considered essential or are funded through mandatory spending laws, meaning they continue even without new budget legislation. She is bloviating because she wants you to read all of her stuff and think this lawyer is really great. So disability compensation, pension payments, education benefits like GI Bill and survivor benefits will continue to be paid. There's the part you really need to know. If you are a veteran, or you have disability, or you've got family on GI Bill, whatever, that's still coming in. Don't worry about that shit. They got your back.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.